Midnight Mirage. It was just past midnight, and the road ahead was a long stretch of nothing but flat asphalt. The air was cool, and the distant rumbling of a thunderstorm provided a soundtrack to my late-night drive. I love driving at night, especially on roads like this, secluded and untouched. The world felt different under the cover of darkness, like I had stepped into a realm where time and reality were slightly out of sync. But tonight was different. The dashboard clock seemed stuck at 12:03 a.m. no matter how long I drove. Odd, I thought, maybe a glitch. I checked my wristwatch, also 12:03 a.m. Feeling uneasy, I press it on the gas, eager to get to the next town where I planned to stay for the night. But the road seemed endless, and the darkness became more oppressive. The only light came from my headlights, illuminating the road a few meters ahead. Suddenly, I noticed a silhouette of a man standing at the side of the road. As I approached, he stretched out his thumb, hitchhiking. He was tall, wearing an old-fashioned suit and a brimmed hat that cast a shadow over his face. Feeling a sudden burst of compassion, and perhaps wanting some company on this eerie drive, I pulled over. He climbed in without a word. "Thank you," he said, his voice low and gravelly. I couldn't see his face, but there was a sense of heaviness in his presence. "Where you headed?" I asked. "Just down the road," he replied vaguely. We drove in silence for a while. Each minute felt longer than the last. The storm I'd heard earlier seemed to be getting closer, but not a drop of rain fell. Lightning illuminated the sky, revealing the barren landscape around us. "Ever feel like you're stuck?" The stranger suddenly spoke, breaking the tension. "Like no matter what you do, you can't move forward?" I glanced at him, trying to decipher his face, but it remained in shadow. "Sometimes," I replied cautiously. He chuckled, a deep, resonant sound. "Time has a way of playing tricks on us. Sometimes it just stops." As if on cue, the car engine sputtered and died, leaving us in complete darkness. Panic surged through me. "What did you do?" I demanded. He leaned closer, and for the first time I saw his face illuminated by a brief flash of lightning. It was aged, with deep-set eyes that held centuries of sadness. His skin was pale, almost translucent, with a network of blue veins visible beneath. "I did nothing," he whispered. "This is your journey, after all." I felt an icy hand grip my heart. "Who are you?" I managed to ask. He paused, looking out the window at the vast nothingness. "I am a wanderer, trapped in a moment just like you. I've been on this road for a very long time." A chill ran down my spine. How do I get out? How do I move forward? He turned to face me, his eyes piercing into mine. "You must make a choice. Remain here, trapped in this endless loop, or sacrifice something to move on." I thought of my family, my life, everything I had left behind on this journey. "I want to move on," I said firmly. The stranger nodded. "Very well." With a swift motion, he opened the car door and stepped out into the darkness. As he did, the storm finally broke, and rain began to pour. The car's engine roared back to life, and the dashboard clock blinked, now showing 3:27 a.m. I drove away as fast as I could, the weight in my chest slowly lifting. The road eventually led to a small town where I stopped for the night. In the morning, with the sun shining and the storm a distant memory, the events of the night felt surreal. Maybe it was a dream, I thought. But as I was checking out of the hotel, the receptionist handed me an old photograph. "This was found in your room," she said. I looked at the faded picture. It showed a man in an old-fashioned suit, wearing a brimmed hat, standing by the side of a road. On the back, a message was written, "Thank you for the ride." I left the town with a heavy heart, realizing the price I had paid for my freedom. The photograph now sits on my dashboard, a constant reminder of the mysterious stranger and the night I encountered the endless road. The journey of life is filled with twists and turns, but sometimes it's the detours that define us. Whether trapped in time or merely a momentary lapse of reason, the road less traveled can lead to the most unexpected destinations.